everybody, Tracy Jo Callan here with Callan's Crafting Studio, and I previously had done a video on iron-on materials and how to apply them and how to cut them and how to face them on your mat. So I thought I would do another one specifically for vinyl and talk about the different types of vinyl. I've kind of briefly gone over that a little bit in a newbie video where I'm just sort of chatting about the different materials, but I thought I'd actually do a demonstration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some vinyl today, and I'm going to apply it to a piece of glass that I have. That was just a junk piece that from an old frame. So I thought that would be a good service to show you how to apply it and how to use the transfer tape. But first, and before we do that, I want to talk about the different types of vinyl. So Cricut brand makes several different vinyl. This is vinyl flat sheets that I've gotten on the internet. I believe I got them on Amazon. This is all 651 permanent vinyl. So this material, it came in both glossy and flat. So I've used this type of vinyl for things like on the back of my car. I've done some recycling logos that I've put on my garbage cans, but you can see, like, so this is a flatter one. So sometimes you can get it confused with the non-permanent vinyl, or I guess you would say, I don't know what a word would be other than non-permanent, but semi-permanent maybe? The removable vinyl, how's that? And then this, so generally that's referred to as 631. 651 is more permanent and a little bit more difficult to get off, but it does come in matte and shiny. I know when I first started out, people said, oh, if it's shiny, it's probably permanent. That's not true. There's permanent versions that are also matte. So you just want to make sure you know what you're buying and what you're using, and make sure you have everything labeled clearly in your supplies. So these are just some flat ones, or you can buy it in the rolls. I like having the flat because I like to just store it in a drawer. The rolls kind of are a little awkward, but in any event, so this is the plain Cricut vinyl. Plain as in meaning just plain old vinyl, solid colors. This is the glitter vinyl, and this comes in various different colors, and it's super sparkly and pretty. And then there's adhesive foil, which is kind of like a type of vinyl, so you would sort of apply this in the same way. Sorry, this is what an unopened package looks like. And again, these all have blue bands to let you know that they're vinyl versus iron-on. There's also a window cling. I have this in a couple colors that I've gotten in some mystery boxes a while ago. I've never used it because the colors aren't exactly something that I would put in my window. But I think I have it in this in a green. I assume that this kind of works the same way. I don't know if you need transfer tape for this, and I haven't really read the directions on it, but in any event, if you like window clings and putting things in your window for maybe the holidays or whatever, or maybe inside your car would be another idea, you might want to have a use for this. And obviously this probably is reusable and you can take it on and off. So all of these are going to be laid on the mat right side up, and I'll show you what that means in a second, versus iron-on where you sort of lay it on upside down. So you're also going to need some type of transfer tape. This is the Cricut brand transfer tape. There's a strong grip one. This is the regular grip. And you can also use clear shelf liner, which I get at my dollar store, and it works great. And it's only $1. And there's a lot more of it on the roll. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to put these aside for now. And I'm going to figure out a piece of vinyl here that I want to use. I don't think I want to use this permanent vinyl. I'll be back with you in just a second once I have a vinyl chosen. Okay, I just found a scrap piece of vinyl that I'm going to use. So this is just going to show you how you want to place it on your mat. So vinyl, you're going to want to place with the colored side up and the backing down on the mat. And you do not need to mirror this like you would iron-on. Iron-on is the only material that you have to mirror the image before you send it to the cutter. Because when you weed it, you're going to flip it over, and it has basically the transfer sheet already attached to it. So this is a little bit different. So this, you just want to lay it down on your mat, line it up. This is, again, just a sample that I have. So you would just lay it down on your mat like this. Now you do want to make sure you get it adhered to your mat, so you can do a couple things. You can use a brayer that I also use for fabric, or you can just use one of these scraper tools, and you kind of just want to make sure you get all your air bubbles out and you lay it down on there like that. And then, now I would also suggest only cutting off as little or as much as you need to use. This is a scrap. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll cut it after the fact. So I'm going to go ahead and send the monogram to my Cricut maker, and I'm going to cut it, and I'll be right back with you in just a second. Okay, so my design is cut. Barely can see it on there, but I'm going to show you how to use my light pad in order to weed. Weeding is the technique that you use to dig out the negative space that you don't need. And you just want to pull it off your mat. Now what I always recommend if you have a new mat is doing it backwards, so particularly with paper, it doesn't curl the paper, so I kind of flip it upside down and do it this way, and this was a brand new mat, so oops. So I'm going to pull that off, set that out of the way. Okay, so my glass here, one of these pads really helps as far as if you need to center and stuff, because it kind of works as a measurement. So this is already 8 by 10, so I'm going to kind of just lay it so it's kind of in the middle there, and we'll attempt to center it as best we can. So now I can see on here, you can kind of see the cuts a little bit there, but I'm going to cut off the excess that I don't need right at the edge, because you always want to save your scraps because you can always use them for other things. So I'm going to need a weeding tool, and I'm going to need this, which I'm going to use for a technique called burnishing, and some of the transfer tape. So first I'm going to pull out my light board. This is not a Cricut light board. This is one that I found on Amazon for $25. I know I put the link in a couple of my videos. I'm just going to move this glass underneath here actually for right now. Works great, works just the same, a lot cheaper. Sorry Cricut, but it's got several different light settings, and you can just kind of set it on there. So now when I put this on here, it's probably going to hard to see on this video, but I can see my lines, my cut lines. So yeah, you can't really see it on the video too well, but I can definitely clearly see them in person, which will really help you with weeding. So you just want to take your tool. Oops, sorry. This, I usually work with this upside down because otherwise I tap that. And you just kind of start in one of the corners, and you just get it started. Sometimes it takes a second to get it pulled up. There we go. And you just gently pull all of the excess away that you don't need. Okay. Let's see. You want to be careful that you don't pull something that you're not supposed to, but this is a pretty easy. There we go. That's done. Not a very intricate cut, but I just wanted to make one quickly to show you guys. So it's a monogram, and I'm just going to put it on the glass. Okay, so that part of it's done. So we don't need the light board anymore. So I'm going to turn that off and set that aside. But these really, really help. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my glass back over. And what I'm going to need to do here is I'm going to just need to cut some transfer tape. These are reusable, so you don't have to, you know, just use it once. Like this is a piece that I've probably used before. It lasts quite a while. You can use it many times, so certainly feel free to keep it. See, I've already got one kind of cut that will probably work for this. So I'm just going to try to just flatten this out a little bit. Put this aside here. And you just want to peel off your transfer tape. Okay, save your backing. You want to save the backing for that. And then you're going to carefully place it over top of your design. See? Get it laid as flat as possible. Actually, this side's not so flat. You can kind of sometimes pull it up and work it back down. There we go. Now I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to burnish, which just means you're going to rub it across to make sure you get it on there as tight as possible. Get any bubbles that you have out. And that across like that. And I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to flip it over. And now I'm going to take this corner and try to keep it as flat as possible. And you take the backing off very slowly to make sure it's down there. See? So sometimes you might have to work it a little bit. It's best to try to keep this as flat as possible, this backing, and roll it. Until you get the whole design. Oh, sometimes, see, that corner didn't come up, so I'm going to go back, burnish it down a little with my finger, push it flat. This vinyl's a little old too, so it's been in my drawer a while, so that one little piece just doesn't want to go, the backing of it. So I'm going to kind of leave that for a second and work it from the other side. And yep, that had better luck there. See, that little piece was sticking, the piece of the paper was sticking out. There's another one. I think we're pretty good. Okay, good. So we got it on there. This you can throw away. You're not going to need this anymore. You just want to save the backing. So now all you do is you flip your design over, okay, so you can see it. I'm going to line this up here in the middle of my glass. I don't know that I'm going to use this for anything, and I might take it back off, but it was just for the purposes of showing. So I'm going to kind of try to eyeball in the center of that square, because right in the line of my K, the line on the mat. I'm going to gently press it on. And again, before I take the transfer tape, I'm just going to burnish this down. Obviously, the more intricate detail piece you have, and depending on what you're putting it on, you know, it could be a little bit harder to center. But I find these craft mats are awesome. I use the measurements for all sorts of different things. And they're also healing, so you can cut on them. They get little scratches and stuff over time, but I use a little bit of adhesive gets stuck on it, and I use that oh, what is the name of that goo off to get the adhesive off of it, and it works nicely. So now you're going to do the same thing you did with the backing. You're just going to slowly keep it as flat as possible. And gently take your time. You always want to go as slow as you can. I tend to be impatient sometimes, but and there you have it. So that's all there is to it. Sometimes you might see some little bubbles, and if you do, you can work them out with the tool as much as possible. Some people take tiny, tiny pins, and you can, I have one here that I keep for that, and sometimes you can just, at the tiniest little poke, will let the air out, and you can just kind of press it down if you get those bubbles. But usually they'll work themselves out for a few days. Some people use a blow dryer on them. I also have a heating tool. Let's see here. I have this tool, which is basically just like it's Doris heat tool. It's used to dry stamps and inks and stuff, but sometimes it works good for this. You just plug it in and it's just direct heat, and sometimes that will help work out the bubbles. This one's pretty good. There's not many bubbles on there, so as long as you lay it down carefully, you shouldn't have too many problems with that. And there you go. You could put it in a frame. I generally put these, like I do a lot of picture frames, like things for weddings and stuff, and I just do it on the outside of the glass, and it doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. Some people reverse it and will put it under the glass. When I've done that, I've got a lot more bubbles that you can see. This one's pretty good, but sometimes if you do it that way, you don't necessarily get a clean view, but that's certainly an option. If you wanted to do it that way, you could mirror it, have it done backwards, and put it on the bottom of the glass if you want it protected in a picture frame. I've always done it on the top when I do it on glass. I do it on metal, I do it on mugs, ceramic. So this vinyl is great for everything. Now the glitter vinyl, I do, from what I understand, you do need to use the heavy duty grip transfer tape. And a few folks said the Cricut brand is not super easy to work with. I haven't really experienced that myself. So anyway, I just thought I would just do a quick video since I had to iron on one to show you how to transfer vinyl. So anybody that's new out there, and if there's anything specific that you want to see or you have any questions, certainly put them below, and please like my video if you found this helpful and subscribe to my page. Happy New Year, everybody. See you soon.